This young boy, Henry, lives with his mom, who is divorced. One day, while shopping with her, he steps away to look at the comic books but finds a hurt man who asks for his help. Even though he is unsure about helping the stranger, he decides to do it and takes the man to his mother, Adele. He tells her the man's name is Frank and that he needs a ride, but she doesn't trust who he is and refuses to help. Suddenly, he takes a baseball out of his jacket and asks Henry to play at their house. She is surprised by how direct he is and firmly says no to his offer again. Seeing this, the man quickly grabs Henry's neck, forcing her to do what he wants. At the checkout, Adele tries to get help from the cashier, but the cashier doesn't understand her signals. Frank makes the mother and son get into the car and tells her to drive him to her house so he can rest for a bit. When they get home, he starts to check out the house. So, Adele takes this chance to quietly put a kitchen knife in her pocket while pretending to make coffee. As Frank sits down at the dinner table, Henry asks about his injury. Frank honestly admits that he jumped off the second floor of a hospital after having surgery on his appendix. He explains that he did it to escape going back to prison. Adele and Henry are surprised to find out that he is a criminal, and they quickly understand that the police will be searching for him everywhere. Adele tries to be calm and gives him a cup of coffee. As he takes it, he asks her if he can stay the night, but Adele believes he might harm them. He says he has never hurt anyone, but she finds it hard to believe him, so he quits and plans to leave on the next train. At the same time, all the news channels start talking about his escape from prison. The news reporter tells everyone that Frank was found guilty of murder and has spent 18 years in prison. When Adele hears this, she gets more scared, but Frank keeps saying he was wrongly convicted. Henry doesn't believe him and says they could get in trouble for hiding someone on the run. So, Frank suggests a plan to tie them up and pretend they were kidnapped to keep them out of his problems. They say yes to this, so he ties Adele to a chair. After that, he makes a big meal and feeds it to her. Later that night, Frank asks when the train leaves, but she doesn't know, so he chooses to untie her while he waits for the train. The next morning, while having breakfast with Frank, Henry asks him how he got out of prison. The man says he jumped out of the hospital window when the guard stepped outside to smoke. As they keep talking, Henry shares that his dad had an affair with the secretary, which means he has a stepbrother and stepsister. He also says that his dad often comes over on Sundays to see how he is doing. Adele cuts into their chat and suggests that he tie her up again using a rope. But Frank says no, explaining that he had tied her up before so she could truthfully say he kidnapped her if she needed to tell the police. He also says that no train came, so he couldn't leave at night. After saying this, he gives her the breakfast he made, and as soon as she tastes it, she really loves the food. While waiting for the train, Frank decides to fix their broken walls, work on the car, change the furnace filter, and clean the floor. He teaches Henry how to play baseball and helps Adele by sitting while she sews his ripped pants. Suddenly, someone knocks on the door. He quickly grabs Adele and tells Henry to send the visitor away. When he sees his mom in danger, Henry opens the door and finds the neighbor, who offers him a free bucket of apples. The neighbor tells him to be careful because a criminal has escaped from jail. Henry acts like he doesn't know about it and says he will be careful. After sending the neighbor away, Henry comes back with the apples and looks at Frank, hoping to get some compliments. Adele quickly sees this and tells him to go to his room. Now, alone with Frank, she tells him to keep some distance from her son so that her son doesn't see him as a dad. Frank says yes to her request, but he tells her that some things he can't change. Once they become less tense with each other, Frank grabs a peach to eat, but then sees that it's getting spoiled. Adele tells him to get rid of the whole bowl of peaches, but he chooses to cook with them instead. While they learn to make a pie crust, they grow closer, and Henry starts to see the tension between Frank and his mom. Later, Frank tries to get closer to Adele, and instead of pushing him away, she leans on his shoulders to relax. Henry doesn't know they are moving, but he can see it in the reflection on his game controller. In the evening, Frank hears train whistles and thinks about leaving, but Adele and her son talk him into staying until his stitches are better. Seeing how they look, he chooses to stay for one more day. That night, while Henry is in bed trying to sleep, He hears his mom making strange sounds from her room. He soon figures out that she has a close relationship with Frank. The next day, Frank keeps fixing things in the house. He works on the loose floorboard on the stairs and cleans out the gutters. Adele stays by his side and gives him a cup of coffee. He would teach Henry how to change the car tires, and then they would do laundry and learn to dance with Adele. Later in the day, Henry is asked to buy more groceries for the house. On his way back, he sees police putting up a search poster for Frank and becomes worried. When he gets home and puts down the groceries, he hears someone come into the house. It's his neighbor, Evelyn, and she's looking for his mom. He quickly stops her and offers to call his mom. But luckily, Adele comes out just in time. Evelyn, who lives next door, has a problem and needs to leave her disabled son with Adele for one day. Adele doesn't want to do it, but after the woman keeps asking, she agrees to babysit the disabled boy for the day. Frank sees this and introduces himself to the boy, and then they spend the day playing baseball together. That night, while they are sitting together watching the news, the reporter shows a picture of Frank on the screen and talks about how they are still looking for him. As the disabled boy watches carefully, his mother comes back to get him, so Frank quickly hides while Adele opens the door. The woman is happy to see her son doing well and asks for a cup of water. Right now, the news shows a picture of Frank on TV, and the disabled boy starts to make noises to show that Frank is in the house. But his mom misunderstands this as a temper tantrum, so she hits him to make him stop. In the end, she takes her son out of the house without knowing what really happened. That night, as Henry gets ready for bed, he hears Frank and his mom talking about starting their relationship in a different country. The next day, Sunday morning, Adele sends her son to the library to do some research. At the library, he meets a young girl named Eleanor and starts talking to her. Eleanor shares from her experience that people who get divorced often ignore their kids when they find a new partner. But Henry doesn't completely agree with this. The topic changes, and Henry tells her he's looking into Canada because his mom wants to move there. Eleanor says there's a chance he might be forgotten while his mom runs away with her new boyfriend. She suggests that he should either get rid of Frank or risk being removed by Frank. Henry starts thinking about what she said and considers telling the police who Frank really is. Later that day, Henry's dad comes to get him. While they are having dinner together, Henry hints at his mom's new boyfriend. After dinner, his dad asks him a lot of questions, but Henry doesn't want to tell him anything. When he gets home, he finds his mom dancing happily with Frank, and he feels jealous. When she asks him to dance, he says no and tries to go to bed. But she stops him and tells him her plan to go to Canada with Frank. When Henry hears this, he starts to cry and blames her for wanting to leave without him. She is confused at first, but then quickly explains that she wants him to come too. The next day, they start getting ready to travel. Henry sneaks out of the house to talk to Eleanor one last time. He tells her about their plan to travel the next day, but she quickly figures out that his mom's new boyfriend is the fugitive they saw on the news. Eleanor takes Henry for a walk and tells him a story about a woman who loved a man on the run. Even though they tried to run away from the police, they were found and shot in a trap. When Henry hears this, he starts to think about what it would be like if his mother got killed while trying to escape to Canada. After sharing the story, Eleanor leans in to kiss Henry and tells him it's a shame he will be leaving before they can start their relationship. In the afternoon, Adele, Henry, and Frank finish their plans to move out by cleaning the rooms. The story then changes to tell us more about Frank's past. When he was young, he liked a pretty young woman. She got pregnant and they had a baby together. But soon, Frank found out that she had been unfaithful with other men and that the baby wasn't actually his. In a moment of anger, he pushes her, and she falls and dies. While that was happening, their new baby drowned in the bathtub. Now, as Adele and Frank get ready to travel, Henry quietly leaves the house with a letter for his dad. He puts the letter in the mailbox, and on his way home, a police car pulls up. A police officer offers to give him a ride home. Henry tries to say no to the offer, but the man keeps pushing, so he agrees. The police officer takes him home, but notices his mother having a hard time moving some bags into the car. So he offers to help. Frank looks shocked and is hiding at home. He goes into the house and sees the empty rooms but helps carry heavy luggage. While he's outside, he notices their odd behavior but says goodbye to them. As soon as he goes away, Frank comes out and tells Adele that they need to rush because the police officer looks suspicious. Adele goes to the bank with Henry to take out money, while Frank stays behind to finish packing. But Evelyn, who lives next door, rushes into the house looking for Adele. She is surprised to see Frank but doesn't know he's the escaped criminal from the news, so she leaves after dropping some pancakes. At the bank, the manager is wary of Adele's request to take out a lot of money. Henry explains that they need it for a trip, so the bank gives them the cash. When they get home, Frank tells them that Henry's dad called and left a message. When Henry hears this, he quickly goes upstairs to answer the message, but then he suddenly hears a police siren outside. At that moment, they realize that Frank's true identity was out. Frank quickly hugged Adele and then tied her and her son to a chair to make it look like he had kidnapped them. Then, he goes outside and gives himself up to the police. He was given a 25-year prison sentence for kidnapping and escaping. When Adele tries to help him, the judge tells her that she might be seen as helping him too. After a few years, Henry grows up, plays baseball, and gets a girlfriend. His life goes back to normal. Many years later, Henry grows up and owns a well-liked peach bakery. Frank sees his bakery shop in a magazine and sends a letter asking to meet up when he gets out. On the day he is released, Adele waits outside and gives him a hug. The movie ends here. Please, my family, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.